So we were working on trying to keep a tall chest. This winter was one of our big things. And we can just see very early on how much less hunched over we are. We're still hunched over a little bit, and so we can still continue to practice that, being tall. Right? We can still practice being tall as the leg goes down. My chest doesn't need to go follow it, which we're doing a lot better job of because the new video is on the right, old video's on the left. Doing a good job of getting that chest out in front more. We're doing a better job of finishing that glove. A lot of good things we're seeing here in our improvements from the old to the new. We'll get the new video from the front and the side synced up here for you so you can take a look at what that looks like. Good job these last couple months. Keep up the good work. Remember to keep finishing that glove. Remember to keep working on getting out in front like you are. And keep practicing trying to stay tall during that leg lift. We were working on staying tall and finishing down. We got your old videos on the left, and the new video is on the right. And if we take that back real quick, we can see during your leg lift, you're doing a lot better job of staying tall rather than having to do that big tilt back, right? We're staying taller. We're getting out to release, but we can still see we're throwing that baseball, and we're tall while we're throwing that baseball. We're tall while we're throwing the baseball, and then now your body is going to want to try to go down a little bit, but it's much too late. That ball's already been out of our hand for a while when you're trying to get those shoulders aggressive. We need to be having those aggressive shoulders while we're throwing the baseball, not after. That's going to help us throw the baseball so much harder. So that's what you should be working on over the next couple months before the season, is getting that aggressiveness in those shoulders rotating down and around with the baseball still in your fingers, not after you've thrown it and now you're aggressive down. Walmsley, we got that thing about getting that front foot down and then we rotate around. That way we can throw harder than we do. And if we look as this front foot is getting down, this front foot's getting down. Let me move this out of our way. Front foot getting down. Boom, boom. As it's getting into the ground, we can see those shoulders just a little bit open still. Right? They're just a little bit open still. If we could keep thinking about this glove staying over here for a little bit longer before we start to finish it, that's going to help us throw just a little bit harder. But we're doing a good job of keeping those eyes on that target. Look at your head's over here, disappeared on this last one. So we're doing a better job of getting that energy to go towards that target and keeping our eyes on the target. One thing we can continue to practice and work on is getting this leg lift up even higher to help us maybe produce a little bit more power as well. But a real good job with the glove finish. Like I said, a real good job with the eyes. Keep up the good work. Varney, we were working on getting early momentum in our delivery so that way we can create more energy. And if we take that back, and we were talking about with that drill, with as that leg comes up, before it gets to the top, we want to see that body starting to go forward. And it's tough to say if we're doing that or if we're just kind of hunching over. If we're hunching over. It looks like in our new video we're kind of hunching our chest over more than we were before. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but that is something that I'm noticing that's different between the two. But our delivery is looking good, just like as it was before. The new and the old video are synced up here for you to take a look. Real good job, man. Keep up the good work. You should have a good season. Talking about not being afraid to be aggressive. And we got your old video over here. The new video is on the right. I think that's the case. Yeah. All right, so we go back to this again. And something I like to see, or I want for you to be able to see here, is as that foot's getting down and we're rotating forwards, right, we can see that this head is looking a lot more, or a lot less and more out. And the chest is getting out. We're finishing things around. These hips are coming around a lot more versus just kind of setting down and that arm just stiff, right? We're letting this arm go all the way across our chest and then bam, it's kind of come back up again, right? I like that versus kind of just keeping it stiff over here. This to me is showing that you're really whipping those shoulders around in a nice, loose, relaxed way versus a kind of timid or tense way. So very good job on the not being afraid to just let it go. We'll be able to see that same thing from this side view of that aggressiveness going around and letting that back leg come through. One thing to note, I do think I noticed at some point, like we've been talking about in our sessions together on Tuesdays, I just kind of note how that finger, or I said Tuesdays, I meant Wednesdays, sorry. I think I'm probably crazy. But just notice how that would be the index finger on this one. It's coming off that ball. So continue to think about having those fingertips pressed into the baseball. We want to throw that baseball through those fingertips, so we really need to make sure that those fingertips are nice and secured on the baseball. Think about when those big leaguers were getting in trouble for all the sticky stuff. They weren't putting the sticky stuff on their palms. They were putting the sticky stuff on their fingertips because they're trying to use that on the baseball to make the ball spin more. So we want to make sure we keep those fingertips on the baseball while we throw. All right, big fella, same thing. Talking about just getting stronger so that way our good mechanics can produce more power. Your pretty pink shoes on the right is the new. The old is on the left. Everything's looking good, just like as it was before. The fact that the new delivery starts after the old delivery is good, meaning it's a more quickly developing delivery, making it more difficult for base runners to steal on you and helping you create more energy that can be used for our throw. We'll put the new video side by side for you here to take a look at how that thing looks synced up. And we did not get an original video because you weren't there on the first session back in November. However, we have your two views synced up here that we'll let you watch a couple times. All in all, we got a very good delivery. We got the nice high leg lift that's nice and relaxed. Our hand separation is in a good position that helps keep our upper body closed and relaxed as that lower body gets to go through its progression, rotating itself out in front. The one thing I would note for you is just get out of the way. Is that when you're landing, we kind of got this knee in versus forward, and because of that, we're really landing on that inside part of that front foot. We want to think about rotating this front leg forward so that your kneecap is forward, helping your front foot get more forward. So that way when the foot gets in the ground, our front hip, our front knee, and front foot are more in line with one another, because we're going to watch as this throw progresses, this knee is going to go that way to get into that alignment, because that's the position we want to be in when we throw. So the quicker that we can get into there, the more rotation our upper body can do all by itself, because when upper body rotates with lower body at the same time, upper body is not creating as much power. But when the lower body can rotate and then the upper body can rotate, that lower body's rotation power gets sent up to that upper body to use with its rotation power. So if they go at the same time, that does not leave time for that lower half's power to get sent up, because they are going at the same time. So if we want to make a pretty sizable velocity jump, that would be where I would start, because everything else is good. Eyes are good on the target, glove is good finished, everything is nice and relaxed as you come through. Next step is just getting more power in that delivery.